I was going to say, let's say I'm phenomenally successful and
Yep.
that equity becomes worth a ton. It's
Yep.
one thing if I sell the company for, $50 million and, assistant office manager made a, $25,000 equity upside by staying at the company for the
Yep.
last 6 months or something like that, right? But
Hmm.
if, my first engineer at a $10 billion decacorn, stays with me
Yeah.
the whole time, like that might be a fairly significant payment. How do I budget
Correct.
that out? Or do I actually hold some shares in the US entity, like effectively for them that I could get the valuation? How do I make that mechanism work if the number becomes really big?
Yeah, correct. So these are usually the trade-offs, right? So the phantom cash settle plans give you flexibility. I don't need to worry about the shares. I don't need to worry about all these rules. But your obligation is ultimately to settle that award in cash. So the question is, where's the cash going to come from? So like nothing in life, there's always a catch, right? So the advantage, like you don't need to deal with all these requirements. But on the flip side, is ultimately, usually maybe at the time of exit, you'll need to cash it out. So where's the cash going to come
Right.
from? So it's a corporate finance decision. Are you going to use your own balance sheet? Is it going to be linked to a fundraise? You're going to use some of the proceeds to, sell the obligation for the employees, right? And also your accounting is a little bit different because ultimately it's like a liability to pay a sum of cash to individual. So yeah, that's, what you've highlighted is a very valid concern. So it could be a good thing short term, but maybe like something you need to prepare for long term. So that's why
Maybe good for
understanding.
smaller grant.
Yeah, exactly. It could be. It could be. So for a lot of what we see is like a lot of US companies may have a couple employees maybe sitting in Philippines, Vietnam. So Philippines is very tricky because of securities requirements. Vietnam is really hard from exchange controls perspective. So you can offer phantom to those employees, but offer equity elsewhere. So in a way, this could be like you don't have to do everything in cash or everything in equity. You can specify which instruments or word types you want to use in certain circumstances, depending on the value of the award or the location of employees.